Oh, 40K players, word to the wise. And you know what? Maybe fantasy Warhammer players too, because they might be doing some of this stuff with their fantasy line. I don't know. I can only speak on the 40K half of the game right now on their website. And I always miss out on this stuff, and I'm like, shit, I wish somebody would have told me. So I'm trying to do that just in case some of you haven't heard about this. They are selling out kits that they're not going to be making anymore. And one of these kits was this Masters of the Chapter. And I mean, really, you might not like Space Marines, because most people don't. I used to make fun of them. I run Custodians now, and I have this thing where my Custodian Guard is going to be made out of pretty much Space Marine heroes that I've converted into like these guard heroes. And I just think these guys would make phenomenal kit bash conversions. I love the hammer. I think that thing's just effing sweet. And why couldn't it have the stats of one of the Custodian swords? The shield is epic. I dig the axe. This is the kind of stuff I want, especially if they're not going to be making it anymore. If I ever play another Custodian army, his guard squad's going to look a lot different than mine, and I will be very happy about that. And it's kind of like one of these things where this is your last chance to get some of these models. And this one I thought wasn't that bad. There's 4 models in it. Yeah, it's $35, but I'm pretty sure this used to be a lot more. This looks like one of their old $50 boxes. So I'll be honest with you. For the sake of having the only ones, I ordered 2 boxes of these. And I'm going to be swapping their heads out for Custodian helmets. I'm going to see what else I can do about maybe putting some Custodian flair on them. Absolutely dig the hammer. The swords are very nice because, Custodians use swords. I could even probably swap that one out with an actual Custodian blade that has the gun in it. Their capes are fitting. Custodians constantly have capes on and stuff because each one of them is a freaking superhuman, best of the best Space Marine at the end of the day. And that's what these guys look like already. So I just think they bring some flair, and why not? I think the price is right on these. Now, I did have a pretty big discrepancy with Forge World. I will not be buying from them, and I'm sticking to that. But Games Workshop hasn't directly screwed me with any of their models, and they are a lot cheaper. Like, Games Workshop is only technically charging half of what Forge World is, and that's Games Workshop's fault because Forge World has to pay them whatever, and they just push that on to the consumer as far as I understood. That is why Forge World models do cost substantially more than Games Workshop models. If this was Forge World, it wouldn't be $35. It would be $80 or something, especially for 4 models. Right? So these are going out the door, and it's going to be the last time anybody can get these. I mean, that shield, that looks epic. I think I can really do something with these armors. I don't know how tall these guys are. I doubt they're like tiny midgets. But, I mean, they are Masters of the Chapter. So we'll have to see exactly how big the models are. I do plan on putting them on bigger bases. I can already tell I'm going to need bigger bases. But I think I can do something cool with these guys. And I won't see that many of these out there being used as some kind of troop choice. Most people are just going to get Custodian Guards. And don't get me wrong, they look really cool. But they don't pay any homage to the Space Marine backpack. I want my Custodian Guards to actually have backpacks. And I think flavor text wise they could. It does say that they have every kind of armor. All the prototypes, they all got tested and used by the Custodes first. And they always had access to the best of everything along the years. And they're the key holders to the vaults that have these amazing masterworked armors and weapons that, the Custodes have, right? Also, when the Emperor died, it does say that a lot of the Custodians don their armors for black armor. And if you know anything about Custodian armor, it costs a fortune to make. And the natural color of it is gold, which is why custodians are gold. And if you want to change that gold to a black, it's some kind of chemical process, and it costs a fortune. So, and they did that. When the Emperor died, obviously, I don't think custodians are going to take their armor off and like take it to the dry cleaner so it gets turned black and go armorless for a while. So my whole flavor text for my particular army is when the Emperor died, these guys went into the vaults, dug up some of the older prototype armors, and had them turned to black. And they just became this renegade squad of custodians that's out there killing chaos because they are pissed off that the Emperor died. Makes sense to me. They have all the reason in the world to go crazy. So that is what I'm doing for a custodian force, and that way I get to incorporate every cool Space Marine model I see along the way, especially one that looks very heroic, because that's what every single custodian is. Each one of them is like a small army, even by Space Marine standards. So I just feel like I should be able to do that with them. And I think these models will work. I think I can use them. They look epic and grandiose. Their armor seems to be a little bit bigger and thicker than regular, like, Space Marine armor. So just word to the wise, get on here and look through some of this stuff, because the price is all right for Games Workshop. And it's kind of like the last chance on them. They're not going to be here. And obviously, there's more stuff than this. Hold on. Right, there's these guys. See, here's a Lord Executioner. That's $29 for one model. These guys, I'm like, at least there's 4 of them for $35. That's a lot better than one guy for $30. Here is Armor Through the Ages. This was cool. I almost picked this up. Let me tell you why. The guy in the middle is an actual Thunder Giant, I think. It's the MK1 armor. He is an actual Thunder Warrior, I think. And those original Thunder Warrior models are actually worth a lot of money, especially the old metal ones. I know because, you know, I've thought about getting 1 or 2 of them just because they look cool, and I wanted to use them in a some kind of D&D game setting. The idea of them, because it's really a sad story. The Emperor built them with a low lifespan because they were just awesome killing machines, and he knew that once he conquered Earth, they'd all have to be put to death. And then the Space Marines he made afterwards, he sent them to go kill the Thunder Warriors. And honestly, my whole opinion is the Custodians, and I think that's why they call them the Custodians, they were supposed to be the ones to kill the Space Marines when it was all said and done and clean up the mess once and for all. Because if the whole universe got conquered by humanity and there were no wars anymore and no Xenos scum to fight, well, we wouldn't really need Space Marines anymore. And I think the Emperor would have told the Custodians to kill off every chapter of Space Marines, just like he had done to the Thunder Warriors. And I don't know, just because of that, I love this model, and I was thinking about ordering this too. I still might, just to have that guy. And this gives you a pretty cool idea of how Space Marines looked along the way, right? Because, yeah, these are some of even like the Rogue Trader, like the guy in the back with the beak nose. I know that's its own kind of armor. There were collectors like looking for those because they really dig them. Like the dude back there's got a plasma pistol. And then the Space Marine to the left here, those were like the more modern ones in the late 90s, I think, right? But this guy in the very front, he is really badass. Yeah, I might get this one. I mean, that's worth it for $35. At least you're getting 5 models. Now, I don't know if you would ever use these. Maybe in a what is it called? A kill team where you're running a small group of 5 Marines or something. Maybe you could use all these models together. But this is more for like to put these guys out and just to showcase different Space Marine models throughout the years. Man, that one's tempting for me, really. These guys I got because I know I'm going to actually use and play with them. Hopefully. I even ordered 2 boxes, like I said. We have a Librarian Terminator armor. Looks badass, but custodians don't really use these combi bolters. They don't really use Librarians, although the armor looks cool. The book just really wouldn't make sense, though. We have a Tech Marine here. This is just an amazing effing model. Look at that. That guy looks amazing. I have thought about getting him just for no reason other than to have him and to paint him, just because he looks sick, and I've always loved that axe that he has, like the gear face axe. Very cool. Right, and this model's getting phased out. You're not going to be able to get them anymore. All right, and then we have a chaplain with jump back. This guy's a son of a bitch, because I remember playing against Death Company way, way back in the day, like before Necrons even came out. And this guy was just Death Company in general. It was something like for every squad of Space Marines you had, you roll a couple of dice, and if you roll a 5 or a 6, one of those guys from that squad turns into a Death Company guy with a jetpack and a power blade and whatever, and you could have this chaplain lead them. They were just unkillable and unstoppable. It was the first time feel no pain was a thing. So not only did they get a Space Marine armor save, but then they got to shrug that wound off with like a 5 or a 6. It was stupid. It was so stupid, and they just shredded through everything and moved twice as fast as everything. That one Death Company alone would destroy a whole army by itself. It was so dumb. I remember having to run against this guy. It just like we have a Space Marine commander. Again, cool armor, right? I like the eagle heads in the background for the backpack. Again, though, custodians don't really use chain swords. I could swap that out for one of my swords, but he also has this ultramarine cloth on him, but really the combi bolter. I'd have to put a shield on that hand or something else, because custodians just really don't rock combi bolters. Maybe I could give him a spear, like an Ardrite spear or something like that, but I don't feel like paying $27 for one model. Right, I feel like the other box I just got was much better with 4 models. They're each just as badass as this guy. Then we have the Space Marine Captain. This is just a cool model. Look at him. All right, look at him. He's got the head decoration. He's got a cool looking power sword there. He is a pretty solid model. And then we have Heroes of the Chapter. And this is just like a squad. It's not like the Chapter Masters, but these are like the heroes. Honestly, I don't think I could convert those. I mean, I could with Custodian shoulder pads, but they're not posed running. I would rather just do it with Indominus Marines, because they're posed running and they have like a really aggressive running pose. Like we're running at you with these swords to kill your ass. Like they're lunging through the air. And these guys don't really look like that. So personally, meh. Warrior Acolyte, cool little model for $18, not too bad. Servitors with multi-meltas, these always just look cool. They're just like half human, half cyborg. They're only $20. That is super cheap for Games Workshop. They are a cool looking model. I wouldn't mind having some of those just to showcase, because like I said, they are a cool just looking model, right? You don't, if you enjoy painting these things, not everything is about actually running every model that you have and playing in a tournament with it. But it is nice to get models that actually fit into the theme, right? And other people that enjoy this hobby, they appreciate that. You know, they appreciate that you didn't just like go buy some Tinker toy that's the same size and it's like, okay, here's my captain. Instead, you went and got your own custom captain. You matched up the weapons and the swords, so it's a good proxy. You know what I mean? Like, if you're playing a model with stats for some kind of gun and a blade, at least your model has something that resembles that. A close quarters combat weapon and some kind of gun or something you can call a gun. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about as far as just... And of course, again, I'm just using these as my troops. So the rest of my Custodian Forces is clearly a Custodian Forces, because I absolutely love how the Terminators look. I absolutely love how all of the models look. For Custodians, I just think they're really badass, especially if they're not all just painted gold. I'm sorry, but I've just seen too many gold custodian paint jobs. There's nothing exciting there at all. And I just decided to go with the black and thought it was cool. But word to the wise, these models are here and they're going out the door. You're not going to be able to buy these anymore. There's 4 more pages of this, but for whatever reason, it's not loading. But I just wanted to talk about this real quick. Her on Blackheart. This guy, like if he wasn't $29 just for him, he actually does look pretty damn awesome. All right, he has some kind of power fist claw with a gun in the palm or something. Like he looks like he could just grab you with that and incinerate you. Or whatever that is. Maybe that's supposed to, like, suck your organs out of your asshole. Who knows what that is with him. And look at the axe he has. He's obviously some kind of chaos something. I mean, just look at the detail in the armor, though. You could just paint that so amazing. Put a different helmet on him. Yeah, no, there's no way I could make that guy into a custodian. Regardless, though, I mean, you might have a chaos army instead of a custodian army. And you might be looking for some cool models to kit bash out of. And, I mean, you could make this guy into something amazing. The axe looks wicked. Geez, everything looks wicked on him. He is just gnarly. He's holding his hand out like that. Like, come here, buddy. Come here, let me pet you. Just such a cool model alone, you know. And they're not going to have these. They're not going to have these anymore. This is our last chance to get them. Because let's see, where is it? Last chance to buy. Last chance to buy. Where is it? Oh, not the Black Library. Oh, new releases. Oh, man, are you telling me? Are you telling me they disappeared already? What? Oh. Limited stock. What happened here? Pre-orders, new releases available to order, bestsellers. Oh man, did they literally just disappear? Am I in books or something? That's funny. Hold on. Oh, there it is. Last chance to buy. Yeah, okay. So there's 42 of these things that are last chance to buy, and they're not going to be selling them, like I said. So let's see if I can view all of them. Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry. There's more servitors with plasma and whatever. These guys just look cool. They're selling their 40K wound tracker dice. $15 for some D8s. Or like a D10 or something. I don't know. If you want the official 40K wound tracker dice, I'd rather choke on those than buy them personally. But then check this out. We have orc trackers. $15. $15. I can't remember when Games Workshop sold anything for $15 for 3 models. These are $5 a piece for Games Workshop models. Yo, this is like, for once, Games Workshop is actually selling models for what they just should have been sold for. That's crazy. Of course, they're clearancing these things. That's pretty much what it is, right? Iron Warriors Warsmith. Look at that. Look at this guy. He looks pretty damn epic. Like, if I could get away with making a custodian, too bad he's got a gun. He just doesn't fit the profile at all. Still an amazing model. $18. $18. I mean, they wanted, what, $35 for some of their other, you know, Warsmith equivalents, I don't know, chapter masters and stuff. $18. I wouldn't buy the cards because what's the point? These armies are all these cards are about to be worthless, just FYI. So they have stuff here that the Chaos Lord with jump pack. Somebody might want that because you're not going to be able to get him anymore. And he actually does look pretty damn wicked. I love the claws on him. Could not make him into a custodian, but hey, just everything about him looks wicked. The face is scary. Yeah, last chance to buy a model like that. Somebody might want that. We have these Black Numenera warriors. I don't know, they look like warriors of Mordor or some shit. They look pretty cool. Feral Uroks, whatever the hell those are. They look like some orc type things. Alright. And then we just have their movement trays. I would never buy those. And some of their crusade books. Honestly, just look at the models. The models are where it's at. There's some of them selling out already. Well, of course, look, because these were $15. When's the last time Games Workshop sold any models for $15? And these actually look pretty cool dwarves. You're only paying $5 a piece for them. These guys sold out for $32. Sons of Erol sold out for $38. Psychic Awakening War of the Spider sold out, no longer available. I have this book. Oh man, that must mean mine's worth $100 by Games Workshop's freaking pricing strategy. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff in here. If anything here tickles your fancy, get in here and get it before it's gone. Best advice that I have. And I wouldn't buy anything Forge World. I just wouldn't. But Games Workshop, I don't think I'm going to have any problems. And the price is at least fair. Like, it's one thing to be burned on a $15 or $20 model. It's another thing to be burned on like a $160 model and then have to go through a nightmare with Forge World. So I will still be looking through Games Workshop's newer models. They do make amazing sculpts, and I've always liked the grimdark about it. So yeah, just figured I would share with anyone in case anybody was interested. I've heard of a lot of models being discontinued and me being like, why didn't nobody tell me? Why didn't I know? I would have ordered that guy. So, I don't know. I just was thinking, you know what? Just so somebody out there doesn't have to go through it like me, I might as well mention this on the small little soapbox I have over in YouTube. Hey guys, hey everybody. What's up, y'all? So, thank you for the support, everybody. And I'll talk at you soon.